Hello boys and girls, welcome to this presentation. In this presentation we're going to talk about Unit 3. Now in this question, a rectangle has length 5 centimeters and width 12 centimeters. Work out the length of the diagonal of the rectangle. Now this question is a little bit tricky, so you have to focus with me on the steps. First, let's draw the rectangle. The rectangle will look like this. Now in this rectangle, we have a diagonal line like this. It goes through here. Now he wants you to find the length of the diagonal line. Now, what do we know from the question? We know that this one is 5 centimeters, which is the length, and the width is 12 centimeters. We have to draw the shape so we understand the question. Now, as we can see here, we can see 12 centimeters here, and 5 centimeters length here, and a line that we don't know. But if we look closely to the picture, we can see two right-angled triangles. This is one, and this is two. And they both share this line, which is the longest line in the triangle. And we call this line the hypotenuse. So this is the hype. Now, after agreeing on having a triangle like this, with a right-angled angle, now, or 90 degrees angle, now we can find the height by using the two lines, the length and the width of the rectangle. Now, what does the formula say? In this question, we're going to use the Pythagoras formula. Now, Pythagoras says what? He says that c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Now, c squared in this case is the height. Very good. And a squared and b squared are 5 and 12. So we can use them to find the height. Now, let's do this step by step. First, let's put a line here. So we use the workspace, all of it. Now, let's make it here, yes, good. Now let's start with this. Here we have c squared, which we don't know, so we write it again. So c squared equals a squared, which is 5, so 5 squared plus 12 squared. Now, we can use the calculator to find the squares of numbers. Now, the first thing, c squared, we don't know it again, we put it again. So c squared equals 5 squared is what? It's 5 times 5. You can use the calculator to find it. So it's 25. Good. And then 12 squared is what? 12 times 12. Now for big numbers, you have to use the calculator to make sure that you got the answer. Now let's use the calculator to find 12 squared. So it's 12 times 12 equals 144. Very good. Now let's go back. So 12 squared is 144. Very good. And now, when we add these together, 144 plus 25 equals what? Very good. C squared equals 169. Good job. Now, in this answer, we have c squared, but we need c alone. How do we find this? We find this by using the calculator and a button which is opposite to the square. Now this button is what? This button is like this. It's a square root. You push this button and then you write 169 and then it will give you the answer to C. Now let's use the calculator to find this answer. So each time you get a question like this, a squared variable with a number, you have to use the square root on your calculator to find it. Now let's go to the calculator and I'll show you how to use it. Now this button is here, as you can see, square root. You push this button and then you write 169 and you press equals. So the answer is 13. Now let's go back and write the answer. So the answer for the square root of 169 is 13. We write it here. So C equals 13. And this is how we found the diagonal line, this line, on the rectangle. Focus on using the square root button and focus on the steps. Always write the formula when you start and then write the steps and they will take you to the answer. And by the way, after writing the answer, you have to write the unit, which is centimeter. Very good. These are very important. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.